Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena gameplay. Today we're going to be jamming some games with Mono Red. This is the current build that I've been running. It's still much the same as the last time that we played Mono Red, but with some notable adjustments. First of all, we're only running 2 Fanatical Firebrand now. We're trying to diversify our threats just a little bit more, as well as going a bit more top end on things, which has seemed to have served me well over the last few days of testing. We are running 4 Soulscar Mage, and the reason we're running 4 of those instead of 4 of the Fanatical Firebrands is because it combos so well with Goblin Chain Whirler right here, the 3/3 First Striker 3-drop that when it enters the battlefield deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. That is considered non-combat damage, so shrinking your entire opponent's team seems pretty good and has proven to be so. Also running 2 Magma Spray to help with early threats as well as exiling things we can't otherwise deal with. For Earthshaker Kinra, just the best 2-drop that we've got in red to be playing. 2 Abrade for creature removal and artifact destruction. Some artifacts are problematic, so we would like to have ways to deal with those. For Lightning Strikes, again, creature removal or just damage to the opponent's face. The Chain Whirlers we've already mentioned. Another change to the deck, we are running 2 Fight with Fire. This is mostly in response to the abundance of Lyra Dawnbringers that I've faced over the last week or so. This deals cleanly with her, as well as if we ever actually get to 9 mana, we can just do 10 to the opponent's face, though I've only had that come up once, I think, so kind of a fringe case, but being able to kill Lyra with a single spell is big game. Also, sometimes just dealing with the Scarab God when they play it to try to stay alive, getting rid of it for a turn will let us finish out the game. We're running 3 Hazoret the Fervent, just an unstoppable house of destruction. 4 cost, 5/4 with Indestructible and Haste, can't attack or block unless we have 1 or fewer cards in hand. For 2 and a red, discard a card. Hazoret deals 2 damage to each opponent. We are playing 4 Rekindling Phoenix, and the reason we're playing 4 Phoenixes instead of 4 Hazorets is Phoenix is not legendary and Hazoret is, so we can have multiple Phoenixes out, whereas we can only have 1 Hazoret out. But Phoenix is also a threat that is generally pretty difficult for your opponent to deal with. If they don't have an exile effect, then they have to spend 2 spells to get rid of it and the elemental token that brings it back from the graveyard on your upkeep, so Rekindling Phoenix, very, very good. We're running a Singleton Karn, Scion of Urza. I'm still not completely convinced of his effectiveness in this deck, though he has been pretty good for me so far. If we had access to Kaladesh, this would certainly be Chandra Torch of Defiance, but we're making do as best we can, and I certainly don't want the 4th Hazoret in this slot, so we're going ahead and making do with Karn for now. So a 4-drop Planeswalker with 5 loyalty, the +1 is reveal the top 2 cards of your library, an opponent chooses one of them, put that card into your hand, exile the other with a silver counter on it, -1, put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand, and the -2 is create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So on its own, it's a 1/1. If you make 2, they're both 2/2s, so on and so forth. And finally, at the very top end of our curve, we're running 3 Glorybringers. A 5-cost 4/4 flying haste dragon that can kill your opponent's things seems pretty good to me. The mana base is pretty simple. We've had to make adjustments because of the triple red on Chain Whirler, so we're running 19 mountains, 4 Ramunap Ruins, and only 2 Sun-Scorched Desert. The reason being, we wanted 23 red sources in the deck, which gives us a 75% chance to draw 3 red sources by turn 3 on the play, and an 82% chance to do that on the draw. We want to be very consistent in playing our Chain Whirler on turn 3. Having it in hand and not being able to cast it can very much lose you the game in a lot of situations. So that is the deck list. Let's jam some games. Alright, we're on the play, which is what we want to be, and this is a very good hand. We've got turn 1, turn 2, we've already got a Glorybringer in hand. We will definitely keep this. Opponent mulligans to 6, which is quite good for us, I think. Just depending on what they're playing. Ooh, maybe a mirror. And if so, them being down an additional card is especially good for us, and also good that they're using Magma Spray on the Soulscar Mage instead of on our Earthshaker Kinra, which can Eternalize. Now we need to draw a 4th land. We just drew a Rekindling Phoenix. If we could go turn 4, turn 5, that would probably seal the game for us. Hopefully opponent does not have another Magma Spray for Earthshaker Kenra. And it appears they don't, or maybe they're just sandbagging to see what else we play. Removal opponent. Yep, unfortunately it's another Magma Spray. Oh well, we will deal with it. That's 2 gone, so they're going to have a much harder time dealing with Rekindling Phoenix, which we are going to be able to cast next turn since we did draw a 4th land. Right, opponent has nothing. Interesting, we will definitely be playing Rekindling Phoenix. Still would like to draw a 5th land next turn so that we can Glorybringer on curve. Right, opponent did not kill our Rekindling Phoenix on our turn, which makes me think that they either don't have 2 removal spells or weren't willing to spend them to get rid of this. Alright, Sunscorched Desert. Was beginning to wonder if maybe they weren't mono red and they just hadn't hit their 2nd color, but Sunscorched Desert pretty much indicates mono red. On Crop Crasher, sure. We will not block. I would not like you to be able to kill my elemental with 1 red mana and get rid of the Phoenix forever. So we did not draw a 5th land. Still, we will go with Fanatic. See if they're willing to spend that Magma Spray that they're representing on the Fanatic. They do not, so we may Lightning Strike this Crasher, just depending on what's forthcoming here. If it's just the Crasher that they attack with this turn, we may just take it and plan on directing this at their face. They got a Ramunap Ruins, so that gives them a little bit more reach. Yeah, no blocks. We're going to take this. Could Magma Spray it too. I'm going to hedge on that for now. Soulscar Mage is good. First of all, we're going to attack. Getting in there for 5. Then we'll play out our Soulscar Mage. And pass back. Coming with the Crasher. I think we will kill it this time. Magma Spray cannot go to the opponent's face, so quite happy using it to get rid of a creature. Another desert. Fanatical Firebrand, sure. My turn. Alright, we're going to try to kill the opponent this turn. So what we want to do is start off with a Lightning Strike here. So if they want to get some use of that, they're going to have to shoot our Fanatical Firebrand, then we can shoot them in the face. This triggers prowess on our Soulscar Mage as well. We will sack ours. Resolve. Then we will go to combat. And we're not going to play this until after damage unless they target our Soulscar Mage with removal. Because if we get in for this, this is lethal. Alright, Lightning Strike here. Then we will go ahead and Lightning Strike your face. Trigger prowess here. We'll take you to 1. You have removal for our elemental? Apparently not. Awesome. Alright, we're again on the play, and I think this is again a keepable hand. We don't have a first turn play, but we have turn 2, turn 3, potentially turn 5. Let's keep this. I mean, we do potentially have a turn 1 play if they play a Llanowar Elf or a Soulscar Mage of their own, or, you know, any other 1-drop. We'll probably just burn it. Or they'll just take the Magma Spray from our hand, because that's the only target that Duress can hit. Would love to have had you turn 1, but we're not going to hedge. We're going to play our stuff on curve. Alrighty. Well, let's attack. Gets in there. I guess we'll Chain Whirler. Now we want to start chaining off some lands. There we go. That's awesome. Let's start with an attack. Alright. Dead Chain Whirler. At least it didn't gain them any life. Play out our Phoenix. Hope they don't have a Vraska's Contempt. They have the mana for Vraska's Contempt. Alright, Torment of Scarabs. Okay, at the beginning of Enchanted Player's upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. I'll lose 3 life. Thank you very much. Then I'll Glory Bringer your face into the ground. Chupacabra, sure. Don't think Chupacabra is going to keep you in this game. I'll lose 3 life again. Then I will attack you with my Phoenix. Okay. Was wondering what they might have had, but apparently nothing. We are on the draw. I think this is still a hand worth keeping. It's a little land heavy. But I think we should be okay, just depending on what the opponent's playing. Maybe a mirror match. Yep, it is. Okay. Well, it looks like they are pirate heavy. They may be on black-red. And since they were on the play and starting off with a 2-2, we may be in real trouble this game. Earthshaker Kenra. Okay, so not pirates. Normally I would say Earthshaker Kenra is the definite play here. But I kind of want to go with Soulscar Mage and try to set up for Chain Whirler. They could just kill this though. We're taking 4 no matter what next turn, and the Lannery Storm, if they have a land, is going to be coming in too. Yeah, I think we're going to gamble. We're very far behind here, so I think we need to take a risk to try to pull this one out. Yep, damage to our face. Just please don't kill my Soulscar Mage. Yep, there's you a treasure. Don't kill my Soulscar Mage, please. You killed my Soulscar Mage. How rude. Alright, going to 8. I think we've lost this one. Almost certainly we're going to have to go to 7 to play our Chain Whirler, which we're definitely going to do. Hopefully they don't also have removal for it, because it does do a good job on blocking with the first strike. But it's feeling to me like they've got removal. Well, there's a Trailblazer. Can we top deck a second Chain Whirler? We're going to block Lannery Storm, that's for sure. Going to 5. Alright, so not just dead, but very close. So we'll play our Mountain. Fanatical Firebrand for sure, because that can easily kill the Trailblazer. Then I think we are also going to play out Earthshaker Kinra. And it doesn't really matter, because we are going to pop this to kill the Trailblazer. They are 1 mana off of eternalizing this. Well, that's the last card from their hand. So Trailblazer's dead. If they have a 6 mana, we're dead. But in case they don't have that, I do think we need to represent a block here, just to keep our life total as high as possible. No, we're dead. Good game, opponent. Alright, on the draw again, which is certainly not the place that this deck wants to be. I think this hand is fine though, so we'll keep it. Again, as always, still wanting to hit our 4th land drop. 3rd land drop too, for that matter. Alright, Deadeye Tracker, huh? We'll go Firebrand and attack. Glorybringer was not the draw we wanted to see there. There is an argument here to have just killed the Deadeye Tracker with the Firebrand, but I think attacking is warranted. Alright, well they're going to block with it anyway, so the decision was taken out of our hands. So if I had my choice for draws over the next few turns, it would be Earthshaker Kinra into a land, but at this point also I would not feel bad to just draw 3 lands in a row. Well, there's the first of 3. So I guess we're going to end the turn. Looks like they are black-green. So they are probably the Explore deck. Glad to have this Lightning Strike. Okay, gonna draw some cards. Because we will want to kill the Wild Growth Walker if they play it. We're not going to bolt their face. We will be playing out our Chain Whirler though. We drew a second, so there is potential to blow our opponent out with that, just depending on how things go here. So hopefully they don't have Wild Growth Walker into an Explore creature on this turn. Well, there's the Walker. No Explorer, please. Thank you. As much as I would like to play a Phoenix or Karn, we have to kill this thing. As big as it gets and the life gain from it, we just can't overcome that if we let it get out of hand. So let's do that. And I could have attacked first, I guess, give them the opportunity to block, but let's be honest, they're not going to block. Because this card is what they're depending on to keep them in this game. Well, there's another one, unfortunately. But fortunately, we have Glorybringer, so we'll be dealing with that thing as well. We will exert. So now I think we're in big time control of this game. If they got to get some Explorers off of those, we'd be in trouble, but they didn't, so that's good. Got a second moment? Alright, sure. I will take a definite 3 for 1 there. So we will attack with our Chain Whirler. Then I think we're just going to play Phoenix. Let's tap that one. Not that it super matters, but at least represent we've got a Magma Spray. Alright, there's a Contempt. Well, we'll attack again. Then I think it's definitely Karn. And we're going to start pumping out creatures.
I am Karn. Ah, say hello to my little friend.
Vraska, sure. Alright, Vraska's killing our Chain Whirler, which puts her in range of Lightning Strike. Let's see, 2. But I think we're just going to strike our opponent's face. And that should be game. We can make another token, make this a 2/2. Ramunap Ruins represents another 2 damage. There's Hazoret 2. No need to show Hazoret though. Attack you. Go ahead and sacrifice Sun-Scorched Desert. And that's got it. Alright, back on the play again, which is where we like to be. This is a great hand. We'll definitely keep it. If we hit our 3rd land drop on time, this is actually a pretty insane hand. Turn 1, 2, 3. Removals. Greetings, friend. Looks like it is a mirror match. So I expect Earthshaker to get killed by that Firebrand. We'll attempt to get in for damage. Yep, bye-bye to Earthshaker. Alright, another Firebrand. Just trading pings here. Well, we'll attack first, just to make it less likely that they'll hit this with a Magma Spray, since we could respond with Lightning Strike and save it. I really hate this end turn. It makes me have to check and see if we're still in combat. Chain Whirler will kill this Fanatic. Alright, they did have a Magma Spray, so we got in an extra point of damage there by attacking first. Alright, Ferocidon. Sure. I think we are going to meet the Ferocidon with a Braid. Again, I could attack and let them block, but I don't want to. I want to deal the damage. Again, though, not likely that they would block anyway, since our guy is first strike. Phoenix, okay. So we're going to spend 2 spells to get rid of that Phoenix, unfortunately. Start with a Lightning Strike. I would love to draw a spell that's not Fight with Fire to kill it, but we'll use the Fight with Fire if we have to, and we do. Continue to pound in there. Glorybringer. That is a little unfortunate, but the exert means it can't be used again next turn. Alright, we need one more land to eternalize our Earthshaker, or if we could draw a Glorybringer of our own, that would be awesome too. Scavenger Grounds, okay. That's not a bad draw. It could get them to exert this. We're going to swing first. Alright, Lightning Strike, sure. They are hoping... So now they can either draw a removal spell or exert on our elemental. Of course, they also have the Scavenger Ground there if they choose to use it. And they did, so now they don't even have to worry about drawing a removal spell, and we are suddenly very far behind. Yep, bye-bye Chain Whirler. That is not what we wanted. If we still had access to our Kinra, then it would be fine, but we don't. Right, back to us, and now we're drawing lands when we really don't want to be. No blocks. Rigging Runner, okay. And that, as they say, is the ball game. At this point, there's nothing we can draw that's going to get us back into this. Good game, opponent. Alright, again, I think this is a fine hand. We're on the draw, which is definitely not the best for us with this deck, but there's not a lot we can do about the randomness at the beginning of a match. Looks like maybe a mirror again. Can we actually manage to win a mirror? Okay, so pirate heavy, huh? We go Soulscar Mage. Drawing Earthshaker Kinra was very good for us. That Dire Fleet Daredevil could be a big problem, though. There's an Earthshaker Kinra for them. Not that we would be blocking anyway. Well, I take that back. We might have blocked the Earthshaker with it. Magma Spray's a really good draw there. And we're kind of on the defensive. So I think we're just going to pass here. Plan on killing this Earthshaker Kinra and blocking the Buccaneer if they'll allow us to do that. A Braid. Well, we can't really stop that. Let's go ahead and spray the Kinra. Glorybringers, huh? Well, we just need the lands to cast those. I'm going to play our Earthshaker Kinra, planning to try to be defensive with it. Though actually they've got Daredevil, so that's probably not a good idea. Because they can just play the Daredevil, Magma Spray our Kinra with our own Magma Spray. But they have a Phoenix. Yeah, being on the draw against the mirror is very bad. Unfortunately, I think we've got to pass. I think our only chance is to Lightning Strike this into Chain Whirler to kill the Elemental. Yeah, there's the Daredevil. We expected that. Yep. Nothing we can really do about it. You got it. Go to combat. Let's Lightning Strike this thing. As a side benefit, we're also going to get to kill the Dire Fleet Daredevil with the Goblin Chain Whirler as well. Alright, that's good. We want a 5th land next turn very badly. As it is, though, we still may just be dead, depending on what these cards are in our opponent's hand. Trailblazer, okay. Flame of Keld. Alright, that's some interesting tech there. So they discard their hand, they get to draw 2 cards next turn. There's a 5th land. That's exactly what we wanted to see. They will not be able to cast the Kinra next turn, or eternalize it rather, not actually cast it. We do want to exert you. We're going to hold Chain Whirler back. We're going to exert on the Menace guy. Yeah, drawing 2 cards. Hopefully they're not good cards. Alright, a land. So this is going to give them extra damage next turn. Which is going to be very bad if they have a 6th land in hand. Because they would be able to do 6 with it, putting us to 3. If they have any burn, we're dead. We have to Glorybringer here. We really just have no other choice. And we will go to combat. We're going to swing with both of these. Because if they eternalize this, then that's the only attacker that they're going to have. No, exert. There we go. If we live through this turn, I think we win the game. But that is a very tall order at this point. So a lightning strike would kill us here. They can pop the Ramunap Ruins, but that would make them unable to eternalize Earthshaker if they have another land. Right, choose to lightning strike our Chain Whirler. That makes me think they do not have a land in hand. Because otherwise lightning striking our face would have been the play. That would have guaranteed a win. Unless I misread that. No, it definitely would have. So, if they had this land in hand, that was a very big misplay on their part. If they didn't, I guess it was the best play for them. I don't know. I think if I were in their position, I still would have lightning struck my face. Oh, this is not... Never mind, I'm an idiot. This is not a red permanent, so it didn't get the extra damage from the flame. Alright, disregard everything I said. They made a good play. Definitely want to kill that. And then we'll play our Phoenix. Yeah, my apologies for babbling on like an idiot there. I clearly didn't know what I was talking about. I forgot the Kinra was black when it got reanimated there. Alrighty. Good game, my friend. Very close. We finally managed to win a mirror match. Alright, opponent goes first. I think this hand is fine. We're going to keep it. We can Magma Spray a 1-drop. We've got back-to-back Earthshaker Kinras. We have an answer for a potential Lyra, though we haven't really seen any of those today. And probably not in this match either. Well, we're going to kill that because we can. And it's our most mana-efficient play. Our mana's going to be tied up, potentially over the next few turns. Definitely next turn. Alright, Silvergill Adept, showing a Deep-Root Elite. That card is a problem. That's kind of a must deal with. Go ahead and do that. And actually, that might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have played the Mountain. Of course, we don't have a Chain Whirler in hand, so guess it doesn't really matter. Because if we top deck Chain Whirler next turn, we couldn't have had 3 red out anyway. Well, there's the Deep-Root Elite. Kamina's Speaker, what are you pumping up? Pumping itself, okay? So we're going to fight with fire on that thing. We cannot let it live. There's the chain whirler we were talking about, and this is an example of how bad it is when we can't actually cast it, which I don't think we would at this point anyway. We have to kill this thing. So actually, let's attack, see if they're willing to trade with our Kinra. If we kill this first, that might make them less likely to let the speaker trade with it. Alright, that is fine. Kill it with fire. And now we want to, once again, rattle off some land drops. Another elite. Glad we got rid of the first one. Haha. Now we'll get rid of the second one too, unless they have a dive down or some other pump effect, which it appears they do not. Awesome. I think we may have this game. Another Hazoret, huh? Well, I think at this point we're going to go with Kinra, since it can attack this turn. Alrighty. And now we're going to bring the glory. Unsummon? Okay. Fair enough, opponent. Mistbinder. That doesn't deal very well with Glorybringer. And the opponent agrees. Alright, we're on the play. This is a good hand. I do wish we had a non-painful red source, but I think it's a keep. Alright, going to be taking some damage here. Potentially a lot of damage if we don't draw a mountain at some point. At least it's not a mirror match, so double Kinra seems okay. So does having the Lightning Strike to deal with a Wild Growth Walker, which most of these black-green decks have been running, at least that I've seen. Yep. You can't block yourself, which you probably shouldn't anyway. Just piece of advice there, Kinra. Alright, it is Explore for sure. Yep. So we definitely go with the other Kinra. Just want to get in as much damage as absolutely possible, as quickly as possible. There's a Jade Light Ranger. Yep. And a Forest. Well, I really wanted a land so that we could fight with fire this thing, but I think we absolutely have to Lightning Strike it, which puts us potentially in a bad spot if they have a Wild Growth Walker, depending on if we draw a third land for this. But I think getting in the damages is super important here. There's a Branch Walker. We know they have lands in hand. There's a Squire. I expect to see them mill that. They kind of obviously don't have a Walker in hand. Otherwise they would have played it before they played this Branch Walker, so... And by Walker I mean a Wild Growth Walker. Yeah, not drawing lands is not serving us very well here. I think we're going to attack with our Kinra. Then we'll play our Firebrand. And if we don't draw some land soon, our opponent's probably going to take over this game and bury us an Explorer advantage, especially with a Path of Discovery. Alright, back to our turn. Well, there we go. That helps. Still need another red. We need a 4th mana for this, a 5th mana for that, 6 for these. Think we're just going to pass? And still very touch and go here. Yep, Evolving Wilds. Getting their 2nd black, so now they have access to Vraska's Contempt mana. Chupacabra. That's unfortunate. Yep. That is a Vizier of the Menagerie. Bye-bye, Soulscar Mage. No attacks. Okay. Land. Thank you. That at least gives us a chance. And we'll just pass back. We're planning on blocking at some point with our Firebrand and shooting them in the face. They have a Contempt, though. So, bad for us. At least they didn't get to cast the Vizier this turn. Still not attacking, okay. Well, there's our 5th mana, so we get to Glorybringer now. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to attack without exerting. Because I want to be able to exert on this Vizier if the Glorybringer lives and they play it out next turn. There's the Vizier, which they need to either deal with this or gain some life at this point, or they're just dead. Liliana's not going to do it. Well, there's a Branch Walker, so... Is opponent just dead? That Vraska's Contempt is too late. So is the Chupacabra. Sure. Shoot you in the face. I guess they could have a fungal infestation to give that minuses, but nope. We got there. Alright, we're on the play. Again, just a great hand. We're going to keep it. The only way this hand could be moderately better is maybe if the Abrade was a Soulscar Mage. Alright, pass over to the opponent. We don't have anything to do turn 1. Blue-green, probably Merfolk again. In which case, just like last time, we want to do damage as fast as possible while killing their more threatening units. And that is definitely one of the more threatening units. Luckily, we can deal with it super efficiently with Chain Whirler. Killing it while advancing our own board state feels awesome. Another elite. Without a follow-up, though. Well, we have a follow-up to our last play. And we're 1 mana away from Glorybringer, which if that hits should probably just be game. Kumina, sure. My turn. And yeah, that is game over. Exert that. Get rid of Kumina. Put them to 1. And that was absolutely brutal. Alright, I think that will do it for this episode. As always, this deck list will be in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And looking back again after this match and the previous games I've played this week, the only card I'm just not super sure about in the deck is still the Karn. I don't know if that should be a 4th Glorybringer, maybe a one of Rampaging Ferocidon. Do kind of miss Ferocidon at times, though I think the Chain Whirler is definitely the better card of the two in the current format. I think overall that this particular build of the deck is slightly disfavored versus the smaller, more piratey versions, as we saw in the matches that we played here, but against all the other decks, I think it's better versus them than the Pirates version is. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know in the comments by leaving a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.